Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for watching, listening, whether you're here in the United States or abroad. We can't thank you enough for making Voices for Voices and our TV show and podcast one of the most demanded shows, podcasts available. We can't do this without you. So thank you so much for watching and listening. You can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, reshare, reach into your phone and share the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast with maybe 25 or 50 of your contacts in your phone. We promise won't be disappointed. Over 515 episodes. Uh, it's just amazing what can happen with some drive, some determination, some confidence, overcoming hurdles all the time. Uh, so thank you for that. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you. Today, I just got back from the gym, working out. Think I'm into my second week of working out at the gym. And so just getting used to being back there. It's obviously a different gym, actual physical facility than I've been at before because, right, we moved a couple times. So that's why we're not at the same gym. Regardless, uh, I I like to reserve my comments after a good bit of time because right now I'm going to the gym, but maybe there will be a time where uh, I might not feel like it, I might not want to, just things are busy, traveling, what have you, and I don't make it to the gym. Uh, and so the benefits, it's not just, the muscles and, binding them after all these years that they're still there. Uh, it's uh, it's an interesting process to uh, to go through. Uh, but for self-care, it's one of the best things that I can think of. And it's not about how much weight we lift. Doesn't matter about that. I don't, I mean, I look at the weight because I'm able to tell if I need to, if I'm having a hard time, I know that I need to go to a lower weight. Or if I think, okay, I can go maybe 5 pounds or so up from where I'm at. But other than that, I don't really look at the weight that I'm lifting in the same way that I had growing up when in my late teens and 20s. It was die hard, going to gym, all the supplements before the workout, during, after. The protein drinks, all that. Uh, Now I'm just doing it for my health. I mean, I was doing it for my health back then, but I don't I don't have to lift a certain amount of weight to feel vindicated because what I found out before, and it still rings true, is that there's always going to be somebody who's going to lift more weight than you and I. It's just the way it is. Unless you're like the world's strong man, strong woman. Uh, and they win those competitions, then it might not be too many, if any, at that current time that are able to lift more weight than them. But taking that aside, it doesn't, it would just take more negative energy. It would give me more negative energy if I were to again be so keyed into well, I want to lift as much weight as I can and I'm the strongest person in the gym or whatever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. I mean, some people may feel like that's what they want and that's okay. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm not sharing anybody else's, unless they come on the show and then they share their experience. Other than that, I'm just sharing mine. So self-care is huge. Going to the gym is, I would actually say it's more than 50%. It's not like, oh, well, half the battle. I've said it in the past. Half the battle is going to the gym or getting up and doing something. I would say that getting up, going to the gym, just that process alone is probably 60, 70% of the workout process. Because right, if you're not at the gym, you can't, unless you have a gym at your house, which I don't. Uh, I mean, it's it's just way more than half, way more than half. Because once I'm there, I'm speaking from my experience right now, as it just happened 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, since I arrived to film this episode. It felt like when I was working out, like it just felt good. Maybe it's because I don't, I'm not as concerned about the weight, how much I lift. I'm there for the consistency, trying to be there for the consistency, and hopefully boost my longevity by at least a little bit. So the gym, great, great self-care. So I spent what, 10 minutes or so on that topic alone. And then when we look at the last couple days, besides the gym, it's been a lot of taking a lot of mental capacity, mental energy, because we're getting to a point where, as an organization, we're going to be doing some things that have never been done before. And there's going to be people that are going to cheer, for the good people like us. And then there's going to be others who aren't. And I think it's a good reminder that if we're okay with what we're doing, like I feel good going to the gym, I feel good, the organization, feel good with what's to come. That's a key factor. That's one of the biggest key factors because we're never going to be able to please everybody. I talked about this at length. Doesn't matter how popular, how much money, how many downloads of songs, how much people have in the bank. There's still going to be people, for one reason or another, that don't like the person. And so I think I've been prepared for it, but now the scale that we're working at and working to is unlike anything I've ever seen. It really is. There's a lot I'd love to share. I'm bad at keeping secrets. I like to share, but there are activities, things that you'll be made aware of in due time. And I vetted this process out because I've been left, one of these analogies, left holding the bag of, yeah, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. But we don't have the resources, and so I don't know how we're going to do it. First, for me, being a believer, I believe God's helping us at his pace. And again, you don't have to be a believer to be part of the Voices for Voices family at all. I guess if I were to sum up in the kind of like one word of where we're going and where we're at and the pieces being put together as we speak is amazing. Nothing short of amazing of what's coming. This isn't all me. This isn't again, it's not just me. We have a tight-knit circle, which is what I would say for recommendations. Some people ask, well, you talked about people stealing ideas and implementing them with their own organization that they work with. And that organization has more people, more resources, more money. And so they're able to make some things happen at a way quicker pace that makes us go, oh, well, do we even do this now? Doesn't even feel worth it because such and such is doing it. And so that'd be another piece of advice I would share. Keep your keep your circle, keep your people in the know as tight knit as possible. See, when people do good things, and they're rewarded in many different ways. Everybody wants a piece of the action. Everybody wants to be a part of the organization because they see the success. Well, if you haven't been there for years, literally, I I can't, grandfather people in. Because what? Because they're gonna want the action. They're gonna want the spoils or whatever's to come. And it's not me being mean, not me being vindictive at all. When individuals take things, whether knowingly and unknowingly, whether they meant for it to be uh, what it is or not, the fact of the matter is, if it happens, that's what matters. And I've been burned so many times. Our organization's been burned so many times. Not physically burned, use an analogy, meaning things that we've looked at doing and the time we can implement them was already taken by another organization. So could be a guest. That's one of the ways, right? Oh my gosh, I didn't know could you talk to this person. Justin did this, and he got a hold of him, and I didn't know. I just go to their website and then I just send a message, and the next thing I know, they got their show that's coming out at the end of the day, and we haven't planned to interview the person until maybe tomorrow. And then so we look like we're late to the party. So that's why we don't announce a whole lot ahead of time for that reason. So you may be thinking like, well, you don't really announce things like you used to. Well, you live and you learn. I'm 1,000% into this because I'm living it. I'm living it every single day, whether I'm with Voices for Voices or not. I'm still living the mental illness, trauma, recovery, all those things. I'm living that every single day. And some other individuals, and there's a lot of great individuals out there. It's one thing to live it and be going through it and trying to make a difference in the world than a person that just has the book smart, which is good. We need a lot of people. But when a person like that goes back to their organization, well, they do. It's like gossip. Did you hear how Voices for Voices had got this particular guest on this show? Maybe we can reach out and put it out sooner. So that's why literally you just see when the episodes are out. You'll see them populate in all of the libraries that I call, Spotify, Apple.com, all these platforms have a Voices for Voices library within them. And so that's what we do. Going back to, it's hard for me to keep a secret. It really is. It's very hard. But as I've been burned a lot, um, we're just gonna film episodes and put them out when they're ready. Yeah, it'd be nice to someone they go, oh well, this date and this time. Yeah, we've had a studio, we had a TV studio ripped away from us because we're talking about real life topics with real life people. So at that time, and this isn't a knock on the studio, it's the studio would still be airing our episodes and we'd still be filming to have a slot every week in addition to, these home or on location episodes. But I think that was a blessing in disguise. At first, it hurt a lot. Now we're just filming and filming and filming and filming episodes. So much so that we filmed and dropped 515 episodes. I mean, you got to wrap your head around this. We're not a big corporation. We don't have a staff. You see the staff that handles the film, the the booking of guests if we have, which all that in and of itself is hard enough to get on the same page, get everybody's schedule to match up, and then have everybody show up. Because sometimes, for one reason or another, people just don't show up. That's happened to me. I've done it for other things where I didn't intend that to happen. Sometimes life happens and just want a little bit of grace. And so it was a blessing because, like I said, we're able to just film at short notice. And we just talk about the topics of the day. We give advice, we give tips. Some may work for you, some may not. Some may work for your friends and loved ones and classmates or fellow faculty members or fellow coaches, fellow artists, musicians, what have you. Well, you can always count on us to just break it down and bring the real life topics to our shows. And so, yes, going back to popularity and all that, some people are going to like us and love us, some people aren't. It's just a fact of life. And so I'm just preparing for what's to come. Because as a lot of people before me have said that, well, let's use a sports analogy. Let's use baseball. Like you don't win games during the season, you win them in the preseason by working out, by the practicing. Yeah, the games are played now, and so the games have to play themselves out, and hopefully there's no illegal interference with referees or officials or commissioners that step in and put their thumb on the scale of this thing or that thing. But you win at the time you're practicing because that way you're setting yourself up for victory. If you don't work out, if you don't practice pitching, catching, hitting, bunting, come time for the season, it's going to be a little bit tougher. And so that's what we're doing, and we have been doing for many months, is preparing, the preparation, because we know that the quality of the products that come and services and such come now. Come at the gym, come at practicing. Can't tell you what specifically. It takes a lot of practice. And so if I don't practice and others don't practice, then the final product or service is going to look as if we hadn't practiced. And nothing irks fans, people, just humans in general. People say like, "Oh, we're just winging it." Well, there's sometimes you can just wing it, but the scale at what we're doing and going to be doing takes a lot of practice, a lot of patience, and I don't have a whole lot of patience, as you know. So I've just had to kind of break things up into little bits and pieces, little chunks. Like preparation might take 2 hours. I may look at it and go, okay, well, I'm going to do a half hour, do some other things, then maybe do another half hour. And then maybe the next day pick that up and do that third half hour and forth, etc. But if I didn't practice, if I didn't know, it's going to show. So that's like anything. Anything you do, practicing is not glamorous. It's not fun. We don't have these adoring fans or, we don't. I mean, some practices for certain things are open to the public, but as I've talked about before, There's certain things that people knowingly, unknowingly, whatever, they take the ideas and then they run with it and they tell the world, tell their manager, tell their boss, let them know, like, did you hear what Voices is doing? What they're gonna be up to? I think we can do that. So that's why that circle has got to be knitted together. And if you have an into if your gut is telling you, okay, this doesn't feel right, you gotta just stop. You have to. You can't just keep going thinking that that individual or individuals are gonna forget about it. No. The more they're around and the more you talk about it, the more they're gonna know and the more they're gonna potentially share. We don't want that. So that's why there's some secrecy around. There's a lot of secrecy. I know a lot, a lot of people are gonna have a whole lot of fun when we do start doing and we start those actions. So I'm excited. I hope you are. So I'm telling you, this is like nothing that's ever been done before. We're bringing things together that have been separate. We're doing things that people would look at and go, "Oh, that's silly." Okay, that's cool. Well, we'll just move aside because we have somebody else who wants to step into that place and they want to be a part of it. There's going to be a lot of people who want to be a part of it. In fact, there's already a lot of people that want to be a part of it. Because somehow, sometimes things leak. And all I can say is buckle up and enjoy the ride. On that ride, those cars come by to get on the ride. You want to make sure you're there. So thank you for joining us on this episode of this show. We got nothing but love and support coming from us to you. Remember, you don't have to be a believer to be a part of our Voices for Voices family. And if you can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, reshare, reach into uh, your phone and share the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast wherever you or they get their podcasts and let them know about our podcast. We'd love to have them as part of the Voices for Voices family. So take care. We're sending love your way. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you and see you soon. Bye bye for now.